magician.
In case you're just joining us, the 2021 NFL schedule is out, and it has been expanded here, and we've got some MVP odds for you. Mahomes has the best odds to win MVP. Aaron Rodgers pretty close. Rodgers is one of 6 players to ever win 3 MVPs. Max Kellerman, you are up first. Who's your MVP favorite?
Patrick Mahomes. If the question is football, the answer is Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's the best player I've ever seen. Because the quarterback position, the best player I've ever seen is Lawrence Taylor, but the quarterback position is so elevated in terms of importance now that if you could play it like Patrick Mahomes, it's a wrap. And the closest thing I've ever seen to Mahomes is Aaron Rodgers, right? Like those two guys, to me, talent-wise, class by themselves. No one else can do it like them. No one. Not Brett Favre, not like Brady's great, but I'm talking about talent. None of those guys are those two guys. But if there's not a dime's worth of difference, my nickel goes to Patrick Mahomes. And he's got weapons everywhere he looks. And I still believe the only reason he didn't win the Super Bowl, again, was no offensive line. He was practiced on 56% of the snaps, and they never had to blitz. Right? So no one's ever open. He's always running for his life. And he still did things that I will never forget. That was, oh my God, did he just do that? Guys, the first time he touched the ball as a starter, 50 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, AFC Championship game, pre-snap penalty, gives Brady the ball, he never gets it back. Next year, he wins the Super Bowl. This past year, if he had a line, I thought he would have won the Super Bowl again, but he was in it again. Just get used to this every year. Every year, he's the MVP favorite. Every year, the Chiefs are going to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you worry about people getting fatigued about Pat Mahomes, too, kind of the same way we see with LeBron James and being in the MVP conversation in the NBA. But for me, the 2021 MVP is going to be Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen is a really special player, and you saw that talent come out last year when the Buffalo Bills as an organization went out and got him a weapon in Stephon Diggs. Well, guess what? This offseason, they went out and got him another weapon in Emmanuel Sanders. You're talking about a player a year ago that accounted for 45 touchdowns, 8 of those on the ground. Not only is Josh Allen the best quarterback in his division, but you can make the argument that he's the best running back on his team. That's how singular Josh Allen is as a talent. And also in the MVP conversation, baked into that is your player helping to account for your team's success. Last year, the Buffalo Bills were a Hail Mary in the desert away from being a 14-win team. So, yeah, Josh Allen's evolution, especially late last year, is what makes him the front runner for the MVP race going into 2021 for me.
I like Josh Allen a lot. I think there are levels, as Meek Mill said, there are levels to this, right?
Same building, different view.
And Josh Allen is not like Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback. I think Josh Allen, better. Higher ceiling, just better. I think he is of a different kind, not just degree, but kind, of a lot of those mid-pack or even upper-middle quarterbacks. But there's a level above Josh Allen. Like, Josh Allen is not on Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers level. Different kind of animal. The only dude I've seen in the NFL where I go, yeah, that maybe that guy is Justin Herbert. And I don't think Josh Allen quite has that kind of talent. He's good. He's really good. But MVP good?
MVP good, Max. And here's the thing. You're talking about Pat Mahomes. Let's not forget, they're pretty good supporting cast with Pat Mahomes. He's got the guy that's the fastest with the ball in his hands in the NFL in Tyreek Hill. He also has Travis Kelce. So while I do recognize how good Stephon Diggs is, we're not going to sit here and say that the Buffalo Bills' skill positions are even on par with what the Kansas City Chiefs have. So in terms of their team having to need them to do more in order to have success at the highest level, it's clearly Josh Allen has to do more for the Buffalo Bills to get to where they want to go than Pat Mahomes does for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl called his own number, dropped like 150 steps, and threw a 150-yard touchdown pass. Like, what? Patrick, like, he does things that Josh Allen just can't do. I'm not just saying just throw the ball down the field. Maybe Josh Allen's arm is as strong as anyone's, but I'm talking about arm talent. Off platform from any situation, parallel with the ground, running backwards, across the field, whatever you need. And it's not like Mahomes can't run the ball, too. We've seen Mahomes punching the ball under pressure, too. And by the way, was running for his life in the Super Bowl last year on a bum wheel. On a bum wheel. I'm saying Josh Allen's good, but all those weapons that Patrick Mahomes has means he's more likely to put up better numbers and be in more in MVP consideration.
Yeah, let me throw another name at you. By the way, the last non-quarterback to win the MVP, that would be Adrian Peterson back in 2012. It's been a minute. I want to talk about Dak Prescott winning MVP, guys. Don't make your jaws drop here, but we know what they were without him, right? They only had 6 wins. Do you think it's a possibility he could ever win?
I like Dak a lot. Like Josh Allen, I think Dak is in that next tier below the, oh my God, those dudes are from another planet talented guys. He's in the next tier below. I don't see him winning the MVP.
I think Dak has a chance to win the MVP, and if the Cowboys are going to come close to what Jerry Jones expects them to do this year, then he's going to have to be on that level in terms of the production. And let's not forget what we saw from Dak in the first 5 games of last year before he had that ankle injury. I mean, Dak was playing at an MVP level. The numbers that he put up were really gaudy. Now, it didn't necessarily translate to their team having the success, but you know from a production standpoint, it's there. And then couple that with the fact that that offensive line is supposed to come back healthy. I mean, how could you not like Dak Prescott to be in the MVP conversation?
Yeah, I could see conversation because he has a ton of weapons, too. If the line is good, he has a ton of weapons. Maybe in the conversation, but winning the MVP, why do you think Mahomes is favored every year? The Chiefs are favored every year. It's different, man. He's from Krypton. It's a different
Max,
level.
they got to go out and play the games, though. You just can't assign that to him and say, well, yeah, Pat Mahomes is going to win it and nobody else has a shot at it.
Been doing it the last couple of years. Worked out pretty good so far. Although Rodgers did take it last year.
Just stick with the chalk. You picked LeBron a couple of years in a row, too. I'm sure that worked out for you as well. All right, Bourne advanced to the Super Bowl. Then in Week 7, the Cardinals will host the Texans. DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt will face the Texans for the first time each in that one. And in Week 4 in Foxborough, it's the Bucs taking on the Patriots. Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski will return to New England for the first time, facing off against Bill Belichick. Let's get it. On that note, we bring in the big guns, 3-time Super Bowl champ, Teddy Bruschi. Good day, Teddy. How we doing?
Molly, I'm doing great. Good to be here.
Yeah, great to have you with us. I'm starting with you, though, Chris. How can Bill Belichick catch Brady?
Well, I think the first thing that Bill Belichick has to do is make the playoffs, because we saw in the first year with life without Brady, he didn't get there, and he had his first losing season since his first year in Foxborough. So that changing is a good start. But I think long-term, it's about Bill Belichick being able to catch Don Shula for the most regular season, most wins of an NFL coach of all time. I think that's what cements his legacy as the greatest coach of all time, because right now a lot of people are questioning who was more responsible for the dynasty in New England the past 20 years. Is it Bill Belichick? Is it Tom Brady? And then Tom Brady going down to Tampa and doing what he did has got everybody looking at Bill Belichick with the side eye. But I will say this. I think Bill Belichick, not only can he get back to the playoffs, but he will get back to the playoffs based on what they did this offseason in free agency in the NFL draft. I think it's going to be a completely different year for the Patriots.
Tom Brady won the Super Bowl the first year he wasn't with Belichick. And that coincided with Belichick missing the playoffs, right? So what does Belichick have to do to catch Brady? Not to pass him, just to catch him. Does he need to win the Super Bowl? No. No, because I think we recognize, you look at the Bucs roster, they're absolutely loaded. And Brady left the cover bare at quarterback for Belichick before he walked out the door. And Cam was coming off a catastrophic injury and got COVID, et cetera, right? But isn't it interesting how for so many years it seemed like, man, the Patriots got lucky there. They got that call there. They made that play there. The other team fumbled there. Boy, they sure have luck on their side. You know, luck is the residue of design. And I always thought, well, because they have Belichick, he's better prepared than everyone. But didn't it seem like the Bucs got lucky last year in the playoffs, right? Rodgers didn't have his offensive tackles. And the coach took the ball out of his hands, and his receivers dropped some passes. And then Mahomes' offensive line was totally destroyed before the game. He seemed to get lucky. Drew Brees couldn't make plays at the end of that game. Oh, wait a minute. Luck is the residue of design, but that luck followed Tom Brady and left Bill Belichick. So what does Belichick have to do this year? Win the Super Bowl? No, not necessarily. But to catch Brady, he's got to take the Patriots deeper into the playoffs than Brady takes the Bucs. It's not about Don Shula or anyone else. This is about Brady versus Belichick in the imaginations of the sporting public.
Well, first of all, I mean, luck is always involved in winning championships. The old saying, Max, is you need good coaches, good players, and good fortune. And that's every championship run. Chris knows this. You're going to have one element, one game, one play where it's like, man, I'm glad that ball bounced our way, or I'm glad that player didn't play, whatever it may be. So luck's always there. Bill's going to need some luck to catch Tom, because I don't think he can. It just can't be done. I mean, Max, you said it. The first year Tom goes to a different team and wins the championship. it can't be matched. I mean, Tom showed it all last year in terms of who he can be, in terms of taking a team and then turning them and almost sculpting them into a winning organization. And it took a little while. I mean, we watched Tampa Bay throughout the course of the year, and I just remember that blow up on the side.